Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, and the unbelievable, the crazy news continues. In new reporting that was published by the New York Times, and you'll see the headline of the article on your screen, Trump tries to subvert the election, inviting Michigan GOP lawmakers, Republican lawmakers, to the White House. Just unbelievable. I'm going to quote the New York Times. After failing repeatedly in court to overturn election results, President Trump is taking the extraordinary step of reaching out directly to the Republican state legislatures as he tries to subvert the Electoral College process, inviting Michigan lawmakers to meet with him at the White House on Friday, which is tomorrow. Just incredible. And it appears that President Trump would like to meet with Michigan's Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey and the Speaker of the House Lee Chatfield late Friday afternoon. Both lawmakers, they're Republicans, and they have said that whoever has the most votes in Michigan after the results are certified will get the state's 16 Electoral College votes. Never before in the history of our country have we actually had a president invite key officials from a state in an effort to, I'm not going to use the word subvert, that's not my word, so don't blame the messenger, in an effort to talk to those officials before those 16 Electoral College votes have been assigned. This is quite unbelievable. This is a battleground state. Michigan is a battleground state, and according to the New York Times, the White House invitation to Republican lawmakers in a battleground state is the latest and most brazen salvo in a scattershot campaign after the campaign waged by Mr. Trump and his allies to cast doubt on Joe Biden's victory in the election, according to the New York Times. Just incredible. Remember, initially, the Trump campaign had said that their number one concern was that, mail-in ballots should not have been counted. Now they're saying that there's some sort of a large coordinated attempt, and they're actually speaking directly with lawmakers in those states. Just incredible. Also, not to mention, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, who said some pretty fantastical things, not to mention Sidney Powell, who's the lawyer who is acting on behalf of the Trump campaign with Rudy Giuliani. She said some incredible things as well, to which a Republican lawmaker, Johnny Ernst, actually responded. I'll show you that in a separate video. But first, let's take a look at some fantastical comments from Rudy Giuliani in a press conference that he did today. Think of this as part two, because I already highlighted some of his comments earlier. Think of this as part two because there are some additional comments, and this is the DC Comedy Hour. I should call this Rudy episode 3984, the DC Comedy Hour, Rudy episode 3984. Rudy Giuliani making some incredible claims, some incredible allegations about impropriety in the allegations about fraud within the election. I'll let you watch this video and I'll let you be the judge for yourself. Let's roll the tape.
Why did it happen 15,000 times that people in Pittsburgh walked in to vote and they had already voted according to the Democrat election machine? Did they forget? That many people with bad memories in Pittsburgh? Why wouldn't you allow inspections of those ballots? Because you knew you were going to use those ballots to catch Biden up. And you had a big road ahead of you. You had to catch him up for 700,000 to 800,000 votes that he was behind. And the only way you were going to do it was with the mail-in ballots. You couldn't have a Democrat and Republican inspector around. They don't even have Democrats watching it because they'd be afraid that there'd be honest Democrats who would say, you're cheating. As witnesses will testify, they were instructed by the Democrat bosses when they had a ballot in which there was no one registered, just assign it to somebody. Just assign it to Rudy Giuliani. So when maybe Rudy Giuliani won't show up to vote. And if he does show up to vote, we'll give him a provisional ballot. That is what we call circumstantial evidence of the fraud. The direct evidence of the fraud are the people who will testify that, in fact, that's what happened to them, as well as the 50 to 60 witnesses we have for the way they were treated and not allowed to inspect the ballots. They weren't just not allowed to do it. They were pushed. Few cases they were assaulted.
So the Trump campaign is trying to block certification of the state's election results, adding a proposal that the Republican-controlled state legislature should choose the winner instead of voters. And I'm quoting now, this court should enter an order, declaration and or injunction that the results of the 2020 presidential general election are defective and providing for the Pennsylvania General Assembly to choose Pennsylvania's electors. Basically, the Trump campaign is saying, Forget the people of Pennsylvania, forget who they voted for. And, we're not talking about mail-in ballots, mail-in voting now. We just want the state's Republican-controlled state legislature to decide who gets the 16 Electoral College votes. This was an 86-page amended complaint that was filed in court on Wednesday evening. Just incredible. President Trump and his allies have previously raised the possibility of Republican lawmakers ignoring election results based on voter fraud claims and directly appointing electors who will indeed support the president. But this filing is the first time that the president and his campaign have essentially moved forward with a court filing to try and get this effect. Now, I want to be clear, Pennsylvania Republican leaders have already said that this is not an option. Now, I also want our viewers and subscribers to understand that Biden leads in Pennsylvania by more than 80,000 votes at the time I'm recording this, and the campaign had previously floated the idea of forcing the state of Pennsylvania to toss out 680,000 to 1.5 million allegedly tainted ballots before allowing the state to decide and, to make a decision as far as the certification was concerned. Now, on your screen, you'll see a tweet from Josh Shapiro, who's the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. And this is what Josh wrote. And I want you to see this and judge for yourself. In case that thought pops in your head this morning, the answer is no. Rudy is not smarter than the folks give him credit for. He doesn't have a legal strategy, and he has no facts to fit his client's false narrative about election fraud. I can't even believe I'm reporting this sometimes. Now carry on with your day. We got this. Basically, Josh Shapiro is saying this whole thing is a waste of time. Now, I want our viewers and subscribers to understand that confusion about the integrity of the election is a very dangerous thing. And I already see some viewers and subscribers commenting saying, oh, the election was rigged and it's all fraud. There needs to be evidence, and that evidence needs to be approved by a court of law. Until then, they are allegations, they are not evidence. So I just want our viewers and subscribers to understand that this kind of confusion, this kind of mass manipulation is something that can be done by either side. It can be done by either side, but I want our viewers and subscribers to understand that this confusion is something that, that needs to be proven in a court of law. Please don't jump to conclusions. Let's wait and see what the courts decide. And so far, the courts have decided in the favor of one party, in the favor of one side versus the other. You know what the courts have decided so far. Focus on what the courts decide, not what the allegations are, not on hype, not on fantastical claims. And I want you to be the judge by yourself. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, you'll find a link to all our resources in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list going forward. Now, if you want, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want, no worries. Sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. That just happens with technology. So all you have to do is simply go to youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time, and then bookmark our channel. This way you can visit the homepage of our channel and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You're not dependent on the YouTube notifications. Speaking of notifications, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. We release exclusive content specifically for our Instagram community. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get real-time alerts from us about breaking news that impacts your financial future. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about money. So any important news pertaining to the country, the economy, and the money, you can depend on Ignition Time to provide you with that news. If you learn something new from this video, please share this video with friends and family. You'll always find a link to all our resources in the description section below. And as always, please comment below. Our community is growing, our community is respectful, our community is bipartisan, extremely intelligent, and you'll learn a lot from other members of our community. Finally, if you learn something new from this video, please ignite the like button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Please also ignite the subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. We work very hard behind the scenes and we work hard to bring you this information. So all we ask is that you subscribe and you enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Talk to you soon. Bye.